Hi you guys, I know it's been a while since I made my last YouTube video. What can I say? I've been slacking. I really don't have a great excuse, so we're just gonna move past that and pretend like nothing ever happened, right? So I have a couple people have been writing me, and this I'm calling it woman. This woman's been writing me. Her name is Sandra, and Sandra previously wrote me, and then I wrote her back, and then she responded with some questions, what I actually thought were really good questions. And so instead of just sending her a personal response, I thought it'd be better to make a video for everybody, just in case other people were wondering the same thing. As a woman of color, I really don't experience any racism or sexism as far as like how people would kind of experience, how people would visualize, or how people would expect like a woman of color to experience racism or sexism. The military is mostly male. Anywhere you have males that kind of get together, males just say talk like men do. So of course there are things like that. They make weird jokes. They talk about. I have a lot of friends that are kind of my age, and so males are like in their 20s. They talk about sex a lot. Racism and sexism, I really haven't experienced that. I find that the more confident a person is, the less likely they are to have a person say something to them about something. Now, I do know that there are men that are sexist in the military. I've never encountered them. And there are men who've said things about other women, but never about me. Not that I know of. They wouldn't say it to me, I don't think. They say things that are just like rude, like any normal person. Even if a woman said it to another woman, it'd still be rude. So it's not sexist as far as it's just kind of messed up that they said it. As far as what we have in place to handle things like that, if a person does experience racism or sexism or any kind of other ism, we have what's called the EEO officer, and she is a woman. She comes in. Everybody gets the brief. I think the first like month I was here, I got the brief 4 times. And so if you have an issue, you email her or you call her. She's not attached to your organization, so she doesn't really know. She doesn't know anybody in your organization. You call her, you email her, you tell her what happened, and then they launch an investigation. And then they come in, they talk to people, they look into the complaint, they see what happened, and then they kind of go from there. And I've never heard of anybody filing an EO complaint. You kind of try to handle these things at the lowest level, but we do have an EO officer. She's pretty cool. I met her. Yeah, so she's kind of just there in case people start to feel uncomfortable, or if people have things happen to them in the workplace which aren't acceptable to them. She comes in and then she handles an investigation. She talks to the commanders and all that stuff. So there is that. And if what happens more likely here is that people kind of skirt the line, and so we don't really have like textbook racism, sexism, homophobia, prejudice. We don't really have that. We have more people kind of subtly saying things to people, or we have people somehow they say things in a way where you know what they're doing, but like they can still kind of get away with it because there's no really way. They're kind of implying things. So what can you do? For cases of sexual harassment, I know I watched that movie, The Invisible War, and that movie was bad. Like that was terrible. I felt bad. I've never met anyone in the military. I've never met anyone in the military who's been sexually harassed. Not that I know of. While they were in the military, so you could file a closed report or an open report. I think that's what they're called, or sealed or unsealed. It's something like that. And there are two different ways that those are handled. But the issue was that people were filing complaints, or they were reporting like rapes and molestation and inappropriate touching and inappropriate conversations to their supervisor. But the supervisor knew the person that the female or the male was reporting, so nothing would ever happen. So after the Invisible War movie came out, the Secretary of Defense took away the power from the commanders to prosecute these criminals, because nothing was happening. So I think it sounded like in the hand of civilians or something like that. There needed to be civilians in charge because civilians didn't have repercussions. Whereas if a military member reported like a friend who was also in the military, then they were likely to be, sometimes they would be transferred to another unit, or they would be demoted. They be charged with Article 15s. They be charged with um, they be charged with like perjury and it's like a whole slew of things they be charged with because they said that a person had done something wrong to them. And then I know in the movie one woman said that they made her go like on a hike with this guy and made her spend like 3-4 hours with him. Like the reasoning was that she said that they thought that if they forced her to be with him, like together in the same space with him, like she could get over it. They could talk about it. When she was so traumatized, she was like, "No, that's a terrible idea. Why would you do that?" So I've seen that movie. There are channels in place for sexual harassment. In the question it says prevalent. I don't know if prevalent is the correct word. I know that the media kind of hypes up bad news, so I'm not really sure how many, the percentage of people that experience sexual harassment. I know it's too high, but I don't know if the word prevalent is appropriate. I know it happens, and I don't know anybody who's experienced that here. Our base is pretty small, and we all kind of know each other, so consequently, we all happen to have a pretty good tight knit system. And if something bad happens to somebody, I I would think that our chain of command would take action for it. Now, I don't know about the bigger bases where it's harder to get to know people. Our base is pretty small, so I actually know all the people in my chain of command, all the way up to the captain of the Air Force over everybody on our base. I know everybody. So I'm not sure how that works, but I can say it does happen. And there are things in place. I don't know if I can tell you it's probably not perfect because nothing is, even the legal system. Um, but it's getting better. I can't say that, or at least they're putting it out that it's getting better. Well, after watching that movie, good Lord, I hope it is, because that was depressing. It's on Netflix if anybody hasn't seen it. Or yeah, it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure I watched it a couple months ago. A lot of people assume that because we're in the military, we're not allowed to do a lot of things. The only things I'm really not allowed to do are things that are legal. So anything that you're not allowed to do, I'm not allowed to do. I am not. I have to go to work sometimes when I don't want to go to work. For the most part, the military is not as bad as people think it is, and sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. But that's all the game, That's any job. We're not in prison, or we're not really minions. It's not like that. We're free people. We can do whatever we really want to do as long as it's within the confines of our job, and we follow the UCMJ. I can't go in my uniform. I can't go to like a presidential rally. I can't do that because that would be saying that the Air Force represents that candidate. So I can't use my uniform to speak for the military. But as far as anything, like I want to go on vacation, as long as I ask for permission. As far as school, I'm in class right now to get my master's, so that's not a problem. I do whatever I want on the weekends, pretty much. I'm 25, so I can drink. Do I miss doing whatever it is I want to do? I do whatever I want to do now. I do more than go to work now. So now I go to Muay Thai class. I'm going to Greece this week. I'm going to Portugal in 2 weeks. I'm going to Germany in November to go snowboarding. I think we're going to Paris for New Year's. And then I go to Korea next year. So I feel like I'm doing more than I was as a civilian. So I hope that answers all the questions. I was also thinking, not that I have like a billion subscribers, because I know people do this all the time. When they hit 1,000 or they hit like 500,000 or whatever. But you guys are sticking with me. So I want to show that I appreciate that, and I was going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to go to Greece. And I'm going to go to Portugal. I'm going to get some things. If you have a special request of what you would like or what you think other people would like, let me know. And I'll get it. And then when I get back, I'll put a video up, like some random question or something. And then I'll do a giveaway because I think that's nice, I just want to do something nice. You guys watch me. I want to do something nice for you. Why not? So I think that's pretty much it. And if anybody has any more questions, as always, feel free to write me. I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later.